Hello, good people. Okay, see if I can get this set up on my laptop. Hello, everybody. If you're tuning in to the replay, I'm glad you're here. Okay. Hey, how you doing? Miss Debbie Epps. Hello, Andale. And just give me a second. Hello, Shawana Ruth, Miss Kia Parks. Now C is in the house. Let's see. Barb Brownlee, thank you for being here. Hoyt Robinson, Jean Dudley, Maureen Williams. Thank you so much, ladies. Appreciate you being here. Veggie Farm Garden, thank you. Grandmama Groves, Ladybug Palmer is here. Denise Backyard Garden. Yeah, let me see if I can adjust this camera down just a little bit. And maybe move the screen over just a little bit. Hey, Auntia. I see I have two moderators in the house. I saw something. Hey, Earth Dominique. Lioncrest, thank you for being here, Farmer Q. Miss Kia Parks. I saw something interesting in Container Gardens, Spam Chef's Live, and I thought it was really cool, moderators. And I wanna do that starting today for my live chats. Anyone that does a super chat, would you please link their YouTube channel in the chat? I thought that was really cool. And I said, oh, I think I'll do that. Bobby Wilson, hey. Andrea Lucas. Leticia or Leticia. Kiki Soto from Urban Girls Gardening channel is here. So yeah, if somebody, and I'm not soliciting or asking for super chats, but if somebody does, I think that would be a good idea. Container Crops, I saw that in her chat over the weekend. And so yeah, go ahead on and please put their channel in. I appreciate my moderators speaking to everybody. And moderators, once again, I want to remind you that if we ever play any type of games, don't you guys play them, because whatever I give the attendees in my live chat, you are automatically going to get it. Any new products that I introduce from my natural hair and skin and spirit line. I say spirit because the candles have essential oils and they can be very beneficial to your spirit as well as your hair and skin. So I'm going to be introducing some new products, and when they first come out, every moderator will get one automatically. Okay? All right. Okay. Stinky Puddle Ranch is in the house. I'm not sure if I spoke to Gardner 99. Lynette Tucker is here. And I know my moderators got my back, and if I miss somebody, they are going to speak to you. Okay. So we're right on time. Let me open up my file and look at my bulletin points for what I wanted to cover tonight. First of all, I want to share with you all that we finally broke out. Hey, Love Notes. Thank you for being here. Our streak of no rain. We finally got some Saturday afternoon. Temperatures went from the day before, I think it was 98 in Mesquite, Texas, and the temperature dropped all the way down to 75. And we got some really good rain. So much so that I didn't have to water anything today or, thank God, Sunday. So that's really good for the foundations of our homes as well as all of our fruit trees. Hi, Ty Lily. Hi, Karen Witherspoon. So for my moderators that came in late, I'm asking that if anybody does a super chat, I'm not soliciting, but if they do, I'm asking the moderators to put their YouTube channel up, okay? And if I ask you to put somebody else's channel up, you guys know, you always do, and I appreciate it very much. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about today is okra. I did the video, and there were several questions that were in the comments and as well as email. And by the way, if you ever have a question about anything that I put into a video, go into the description box, and if one of my moderators would put up my email address, I would certainly appreciate it. And if the question or concern or issue is too long for me to address in a comment, because at times I am a very busy lady, I will address it the following Monday night or when I have time. So I want to talk about the okra, but before I do that, let me just share this with you. Thank you, Antia. The email address is there. For those of you that can screenshot it, now will be a good time while it's on your screen. First thing I want to address before the okra is my Facebook group. Most of you know that I have my company, LadyCherylsNaturalProducts, which consists of natural and organic products for your hair and your skin, as well as the candles for your spirit. And I'm very busy, and I thank God that the company is growing. And right now, even though I keep saying I'm going to hire somebody, I never can find the right person yet. And I'm doing everything, invoicing, shipping and receiving, the books, making all the products, and I'm thankful to God to be busy, so I'm not complaining. But in the midst of me trying to do a video about canning, I was editing a post on my Facebook garden group. And while I was editing that, the timer went off for my canner, and I thought I hit the edit button on my phone for my Facebook post. And when I got to the stove to turn it off and came back to my desk where I'm sitting right now, I inadvertently locked myself out of my Facebook group. So the only thing I can think of, I must have hit remove. And you would think it would say, are you sure you can cancel it or whatever, by me getting up and going to the stove. Even maybe when I put my phone down, I don't know what happened, but I was locked out of my Facebook group. So I called my sister Elaine, and she's married to my brother. We always address each other as sis. And I explained to her what happened, and I told her to put on a post what happened, and I'm locked out, and I can't get back in, and I'm not hearing anything from Facebook. And in the interim, I emailed, and I'm not going to say the person's name, but I emailed one of the ladies that's very active in the group and explained to her what was going on. And luckily, I had made her a group expert, and she was able to submit me invitation to join my own group again. And I joined, but I was not able to become an administrator of the group. And so I kept emailing Facebook, and then I thought about it. don't believe anything happens as a coincidence. I believe there's a reason for everything that occurs. And I have been praying and asking God to hold your thought. Who was that? Somebody asking about an invitation to extend the group. And I'm like, you don't want to do that, and I'm going to tell you why. I have been praying and asking God to help me order my steps and to use my time more wisely so that I can get everything done in the day that I'm supposed to. And then I had a revelation. So what is he telling me to give up? What if God is telling me to give up the group? Now I'm going to tell you all how. I'm not going to preach, but I just want to share 2 minutes of this with you. I don't know how the Holy Spirit gives you all discernment, but for me, whatever I'm puzzled about, or if I'm puzzled about making a decision, I pray over it and I take it to the Lord in prayer and I leave it there. And then when I wake up the first thing in the morning, usually that decision that I'm pondering over, the Holy Spirit will give it to me. And when I woke up the next day, how I was leaning was what was revealed to me. I shut the group down. Now, Facebook still haven't archived it, but they will eventually, because I thought about this. And I'm not complaining, because I love helping people. But my Facebook group had access to me even while I was on vacation. And even though I asked that certain people be group experts and that they could answer the questions, some people still address those questions specifically to me. So I came to the decision with the Holy Spirit that I can still address the questions on Monday night and through my email when I have time. I don't need to keep repeating myself in the group, because I would give them tidbits and stuff before the videos would come out. Does that make sense? See if anybody am I making sense to anybody. So I decided I don't need the group at this time. Now, and the reason why I say I don't need the group at this time, thank you, Love Notes, because the group is Cheryl, Lady Cheryl's Organic Food Forest and Products. It's my brand. And what I would like would be for somebody to pick up the baton and start the group, and I would actively participate, but I don't want my brand as the name of the group. And so I extended that invitation to everybody in the group, and so far, nobody has picked up the baton. And I know there are people in that group that are capable. And I'm not fussing at you, people, if you're in the chat tonight. I'm not fussing, because I don't know what's on your plate, but I do know what's on mine. And I do know that I have been under a lot of stress. And if it gets to the point where I'm filling the order, and then I get a notification on my phone, it can be a little stressful, and it can confuse me and make me get sidetracked. So for that reason alone, and I saw a higher power for my decision, the Holy Spirit. Please don't send me any invitations to be a group member, because that group is being archived. And I repeat, anybody that wants to pick up the baton and make a group for Backyard Gardeners, United, we can come up with any kind of name. You can email me. I can even give you some names. I'm very creative when it comes to that. And I will assist you. But I can't run it by myself. Okay? Moving on. Any thoughts on that? Anybody would like to say anything? Any thoughts? Hey, Ty Lily, I think I spoke to you. He does work things out even when we have no idea. That is so true, Andale. It's a reason why I got locked out of that group. And I had asked, I'm going to put it on the spot, my sister-in-law to be an administrator. And she says, no, I don't want to do that. And I'm not blaming her, but if she had been an administrator, she could have put me back in and made me administrator again. But I was backed up into a corner, and I said, God trying to tell me something. So you got to take it to the Lord in prayer and leave it there. Lou Holmes, thank you. He will guide your footsteps. Thank you, Love Notes. It worked out. Veggie Farm, understood, claim your peace. Quimby's Playroom, sorry to hear that, but you must do what is best for you. It's a lot of work. Thank you, guys. And there are some people in there need their hand held a little bit more than others. And I'm going to be honest with you, it was getting to be a little stressful, the hand holding. I don't mind helping, but it was getting to the point where I was a living Google. I don't know any other way to say it. Okay, so I'm moving on. You got questions, you in the group, not in the group, you got my email, I got you. If I can help somebody as I pass along, I'm going to do it. So my living will not be in vain. Okay? I know that's my purpose in life. I always tell people that God spared my life of breast cancer, a metastasizable type of breast cancer, that I would have been dead. It would have went all over my body in 5 months. It's a reason why I survived it. And I know it's to help people. And that's what I'm going to do. Okay? All right. Here we go. Okay. Time and energy are precious. All is and will be well. Thank you. Andrea Lucas said, check your messages. I sure will. I think Debbie Epps is in that group and she's trying to get in touch with you, Andrea. So I don't want nobody to think I deserted you, because I'm here for you every Monday night. Y'all know I've been doing this every Monday night for a year. And by the way, this weekend is the anniversary to the relaunch of Lady Cheryl's products. And by popular demand, because I get so many emails, and I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, but people tell me, my husband said, you don't even look like you're 67 years old. What are you using on your skin? And I told you I do my own skincare. I'm going to launch my anti-aging serum, and probably be in 2 weeks. It's already done. I got the bottle, I got the label design. I just haven't gotten it back from the manufacturer. Yes, Gardner 99. My page is still on Facebook, but you cannot join it, nor can you comment on it. Okay? I don't know if Facebook think I'm going to change my mind or what. But if you look down at the bottom of the page, it'll tell you that the thing is archived. Okay. So, any questions? Go ahead and send them to me in email. But right now, let me go over Oprah. Now, I told you guys that if you can't grow nothing else in the summertime, you can grow some okra. And the last video before the stevia video, or was it in that video too? I'm gonna tell y'all, when you're doing a whole lot, it gets merged together. For example, today I've already did all my orders, made 2 products, you know, for the inventory. My son came and harvested my jujube. Some people call them jujube, and some people call them jujube. My husband grew up on a farm in Mississippi, and they call them jujubes. So that's what I call them. My baby son came over and harvested them. I washed them and peeled them. Bottom line is, I canned them and made jujube butter. So I'm just saying, and I took them out the canner, then I rushed to the post office so I can get there before 5 o'clock. Because the postal worker in my area that picks up the mail at my local post office in Mesquite, Texas at 5 o'clock told me do not let people come to the house and pick them up because they have missing packages. So if you all wondering why am I doing that, that's the reason. I just take them myself, and then I got a tracking number, and I know I took them, so everything is fine. Okay, so now, you talked about okra in your stevia video. Thank you, Kiki. Thank you. Bless you. So, now I'm in my last garden bed that I made. I got, I think it's about 5 okraplex out there, and I'm getting 4 a day. Actually, I get about 6, but I missed a couple. And they got real long. And you know, those okras are too tough when they're real long. I could use it for okra water, but I'm letting them stay there, and I just broke it down a little bit so it's still alive so that it can dry out and I can harvest those seeds. Because really, what I'm growing is free food. Because it's like the 3rd or 4th generation of okra seeds that I save every year. Because y'all know me, I tell you, save your seeds. Saving seeds is just like printing money. You don't have to buy those seeds over and over again. And that's why I like to deal with heirloom seeds, so that I know what I'm going to get from those seeds. Now, in North Texas, where I live in Zone 8A, everything is... Farmer Q was in here earlier. He'll tell you, it's so hot. Basically, we struggle to keep everything alive until the weather cools down. And we actually have a better gardening season as far as the amount or the varieties of food that we can grow. It's better for us than the summer garden. Okay? So, no matter where you are, unless you're in Alaska somewhere, you can plant some okra seeds, and they'll grow in any type of soil. And in that last video that I believe it was Kiki reminded me, yep, Kiki Soto reminded me in that last video with the stevia, I shared how to make that okra water. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that some of you all Googled it and went like, I didn't know that. She knows her stuff. There was a lady from Puerto Rico about 5 years ago in my Facebook group told me that. When we were talking about one day about what we are predisposed to. Like if your mother had high blood pressure or heart disease, you may have it. If your mother had diabetes, my father had kidney disease, that type of thing. And she was saying, well, you can start now. It might have been 5 or 6 years ago. She said, you can start now and keeping your glycemic index down, your A1C down with okra water. And you know, I'm one of them people that I would listen to you, but I'm going to check it out myself. And true enough, it was. So I've been doing this for a long time. So you cut those pods off. And Renee's Garden, I think that's her channel. Somebody put a link to her channel up. She did that okra water and made a video about it. So you can go back and watch her, or you can watch me. And a lot of people have emailed me and told me they're pre-diabetic too. So they're going to start the okra water. So yeah, and if you have issues with kidneys or high blood pressure, you're not supposed to have a lot of caffeine. And there's a man who named a coffee, I believe, after his wife, named Abigail's Coffee. I bought the seeds on Rare Seeds, Baker Creek, and I tried it and I didn't like it. And I ground the coffee, I let the seed pods dry, and I ground them up, and I made coffee out of it, and it's supposed to be good and nutritious for me, but I didn't like it at all. So what I did was, I switched from caffeinated coffee to decaf coffee, and then from decaf coffee, about 2 months ago, I had a cup every other day, and then every 2 days, then every 3 days. So by the time I went on vacation, I had completely got off of the coffee, and I didn't miss it at all. And I haven't had any coffee since before I went on vacation. And so I'm back to doing the tea several times a day. So I do the hibiscus tea because that lowers your blood pressure, and I'm doing hibiscus honey because that also lowers your cholesterol. My mother had hardening of the arteries. You all know what that is. They used to call it what they call it, guys? I don't remember, but you all know what it is. It's just high cholesterol. Okay? Is it my screen black? I can't see you. Can everybody see me? Can you say yes or no? Because I can see it on my camera here, and I can see it on my PC. But I was having a conversation with a lady, and yeah, okay, it's your coffee, baby. Yeah, I didn't know that about coffee. Yes, sweet spot, if you got high blood pressure or you have kidney disease, you don't need to be eating a lot of chocolate, Cokes, coffee, stuff with caffeine in it. But I was talking with a lady, and do you all remember how, and my mouth is getting dry, and this is the bubbly lime. I don't think you can see it with the ring light. Bubbly lime, I get it at Whole Foods. And then I had thyroid disease, because I told you I had to have surgery, had part of my thyroid removed, and how I couldn't talk or sing for a long time. But do you all remember, those of you that have been with me for a while, how I used to have to wipe my mouth all the time, and it was so dry, and I had to drink water. Have you all noticed that I don't do that anymore? So I just want you to know that, because I'm talking about kidney disease and diabetes and all that kind of stuff, there's some good news too. My medication for the thyroid has been lowered, so I don't get that dry mouth all the time. I don't have to wipe my mouth. Yes, the sweet spot. When you're predisposed with a lot of those things, don't wait until it's out of control. Start in your 30s and your 40s, okay? So that's what I did. I started in my 40s, started working on some of these things. But some of it is inevitable. It's inevitable. I know from my older siblings, my father, my aunts on my father's side. I have one brother who had a kidney transplant, one who they just put the port in the arm for getting ready for diabetes. Not diabetes, dialysis. So some things are inevitable, but you start on them so you can have a better chance. I've stalled for a very long time, but I know, I'm not claiming it, but things can shift. Let me just put it that way. And I know for a fact some things have shifted. Okay. Tia want to know about chicory as a replacement, or Hattie Lamar wants to know. I don't know a lot about chicory. I'm going to be honest with you. I never really got into it. Hattie Lamar said, it is great. I love it. I guess she's talking about chicory. I don't know if you're talking about a substitute for coffee or not. So let's get on back to the okra. The okra is growing like crazy. The only thing that I did was use potting mix and Comfrey tea. And it's still not too late to grow okra in some areas. I think I see a super chat up there. Whoever that was, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Okay. Also, I need to mention that people are sending me pictures, emails. Those of you that are in my Facebook group, if you sent a picture, and if I don't call out your name, go ahead and email it to me. So far, I have gotten email from Miss Cheryl, and some of these people won the prize for the Comfrey container crops, which is also Chef Pam. C. Thomas emailed me pictures of the Texas Star Hibiscus. Karen Witherspoon. You sent me pictures of the hornworm on your pepper, and I said I was going to send you sunflowers, but those sunflower seeds got molded. So I'm going to send you, Karen Witherspoon, the Comfrey instead. Because I don't send no seeds out that I think that may not germinate. Deb M. sent me the Texas Star Hibiscus. Cynthia Self sent me pics of the Texas Star Hibiscus. All Snat Homesteader sent me pictures. Kenzada sent me pictures. Angela Bowden. And Angela's Busy Bees Garden and Homestead sent me pictures. If I didn't call your name out and you sent me a picture, send me an email and put the picture in it again, and I'll put your name on the list. Okay? because I'm not going to miss anybody. And what I'm going to do is, as soon, and thank you, Farmer Q, for the super chat, and I hope our moderator put your yes, Lion Crest Outdoors. I watched 2 of your videos. One I saw you in on my nephew, Broke Farmer 76, my internet nephew. You was a guest on there. And then I saw your seed starting video, and you did something else I saw. I think I better watch it real early this morning. I'm not sure. But you really cranking them out. And then you went also to that nursery. Hey, Eco Neighbor. That's Mr. Nature. I'm going to name him Eco Neighbor, Mr. Nature. Y'all check out his channel. If you ever get real stressed out and you just want to look at something and just instantly feel peace come over your being, your body, check out Eco Neighbor. That's his calling. Yes, do the gardening videos and stuff too. But everybody has a calling. And the way he puts those nature videos together, it just soothes my soul. I love them. Sometimes I watch them twice. Okay. So yeah. What causes the okra plants to stop producing in zone 10B? Deb M, the only way your okra will stop producing, because it's still hot where you are, is root bound. Is it in a container or is it in the ground? Your container might be too small. Usually okra in 10B will go all the way up to October, November. Okay? All right. And Andale says that Eco Neighbor's videos really do ease the shoulders of stress. It is so true. Now, the next thing on my agenda to talk about is politics. Y'all don't, you might notice I don't get into all this political stuff. If you listen to me, you can probably know how I'm leaning. But lately, a lot of gardeners is jumping in on the bandwagon of anti-government. I'm not going to say anti-what, but I'm really surprised that they have become radicalized. That's what I call it. And their channels are focusing more on politics than gardening. And last week I mentioned how some of the channels are focusing more on panicking and fear. Don't get caught up, is my advice to everybody. You see, ever since I was a little girl, I heard old people say the world coming to an end. 60 years have gone by and it still hasn't come to an end. So yes, let's be smart and be self-sufficient, and let's harvest our groceries in our backyard, and let's preserve them either by water bath canning, pressure canning, dehydrating, freezer. But remember, even with freezing, you can lose power. Let's do that instead of stockpiling a whole lot of food that's not nutritious. That's all I'm saying. Don't panic. And I was having this conversation when I was doing hair, my hair client Saturday, and she was saying how she had went to in the store and how they had missing shelves where they were getting ready to put the Halloween stuff out. And I told her a lot of people are going in taking pictures of that and making people think that they're running out of groceries, when actually all they're doing is condensing certain things and they're getting ready for seasonal displays. Now, I'm not going to say that's happening in all areas, because I've heard some people say about shortages, but I think it's exaggerated. So don't jump off up and buy a lot of stuff that has a expiration date of 2021, and then you got 400 boxes of it and you're not going to be able to use it. At least it won't be good for you to eat. That's it. Atherosclerosis or whatever it is, I can't pronounce it, but it's hardening of the arteries. Thank you, Miss B. Washington. You are exactly right. My okra is growing good now because of the heat. What Gardener 99 says, yeah, this is the time. You can't grow nothing else. You can grow some okra. Okay? All right, I'm getting your comments. Okay. So much food, especially processed food, is garbage. This is Taylor Marshall saying, I was about to eat some candy today. I had to look up one of the dyes in it, and they said it causes cancer. What you say? And they disguise those words, guys, so you don't even know what you eat. All this processed stuff. It's not healthy for you. Thank you for contributing that to the conversation, Taylor Marshall. You are so right. Okay, Deb said her okra is in the ground. Then you might have a problem with grubs or nematodes. If you have more than one plant, pull it up. Pull one up and so you can look at those roots and see what's going on. Something down there is eating your roots. Or a fungus or something. Because there's no way okra shouldn't be growing in zone 10B unless you're not watering it and it's dying of thirst. And I'm not accusing you of that. I'm just saying, it's a wonderful time of the year in zone 10 to grow okra. So if you're not doing anything your fault, then it's something going on with the plant at the roots. Okay? I hope you get to the bottom of it. Email me with a picture of it if you like. Hey, Susie, I know you're in my Facebook group and you can watch the replay if you don't know what's going on. But I think I addressed it. I think you saw that. So I'm glad that you're here. But anytime you need me, because I think your Texas Star Hibiscus was getting just a little too much water. And when the leaves start turning a little bit yellow, guys, Texas Star Hibiscus don't need any fertilizer and they don't need a lot of water. An inch a week. Now, that is when they're 2 and 3 years old. You might want to give them an inch twice a week when they're new. And while we're on this subject, I know I'm jumping around. While we're on this subject, the Texas Star Hibiscus may put out seed pods this year. Those of you that are growing it for the first time. But before you go off and give somebody those seeds, check them in January after they've gone through the stratification, the seasonal process. Or put them in your freezer and take them out and put them in your refrigerator for a couple of weeks. Test them to see if they germinate. Because mine didn't germinate the first year. But I'm not saying yours won't. Because you might get enough chill hours. I don't know. Too much nitrogen and not enough phosphorus. Okay, Gardener 99, you are on it. You are exactly right. If you're giving them nitrogen too much and they're not getting any phosphorus to bloom, go ahead, guys. Gardener 99, do you have a YouTube channel? Just say yes or no. Do you have an active YouTube channel? Let me know. Let me put it this way. For answering that question, you are on the list for the okra. Let me put you down right now. Gardener. Fantastic answer contest. So you know you need to email me and give me your address. Because around October 1st, I'm going to start digging up Comfrey and propagating it. And I already have the potty mix in my trunk. I went to Home Depot and picked it up. And I'm going to use those cement trays that Lead Farmer 76 told everybody about. And I did it. I got all those trays. I'm not using them. I used them in my emergency garden. And I'm going to fill those trays up with cuttings of Comfrey. And then I'm going to dig it up and put it in a baggie, paper towel, whatever. Then I'm going to send it to you guys. So, Gardener 99, I salute you. You did it. Absolutely right. If it doesn't have enough phosphorus and you're giving it too much nitrogen, that's just like having a great big old tomato plant with no blooms. And that is what people usually do. They give it too much nitrogen. Taylor Marshall, I'm in Canada, but I imagine it's similar to the U.S. Okay, you all talking about something else, so I don't know. Okay, let me get back to my notes. Gardener 99, one. Then you're going to get not one, but 2 cuttings of comfrey. So don't tell me out of those 2 you couldn't get something to grow. Because, I mean, I got caught up to the point where I wasn't sleeping good when you all were telling me you couldn't get your seeds to germinate, the hibiscus seeds. And what happened? I'm not going to call no names out, but a couple of people put that mix that they used to put the seeds in, they planted something in, and then later on the hibiscus plants popped up. Now they're getting ready to flower. So it just takes a long time for them to germinate. Does okra easily cross-pollinate? I've never heard that okra cross-pollinate. Veggie Farm, I never heard that. Okra is in the same family of hibiscus and marijuana. And I never heard that they cross-pollinate, like peppers and make a hybrid or whatever. But I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying I've never heard of it, okay? All right. Hey, everyday life of an OCD-ish chick. Thank you for being here. Okay, so let me go back and see that I covered everything that I wanted to cover. I sure did. It's your time for the questions. Please put them in all caps. I'm going back to the beginning to see if somebody new in the house didn't know and inadvertently put a question up. I'm going to make sure that I answer everybody. Osteosclerosis. Yes, yes, yes. Hello, Miss Helen Pankey, Garden Quilts and Art Traditions. Jennifer K, thank you for being here. Making sure I speak to everybody. Okay, that was Hattie Lamar talked about the chicory. I'm going to put that down and research chicory because that has been coming up in different garden groups that I'm in. And I'm going to do some research. I'm not saying I'm going to grow it, but I'm going to see if it's worth me growing. But I do the hibiscus tea, I do ginger tea, I do chamomile tea, I do peach tea. So I drink tea all day long. Hello, Stacy Brooks, speaking to everybody. That's so sweet. Got lion crest up. And who? Okay. 2 people got lion crest up. Okay. And we got Eco Neighbor up. Great, great, great. Somebody speaking to Hands in the Dirt. I don't know. I didn't know you came in, Hands in the Dirt. Thank you for being here. You had some great videos up. The cantaloupe and cleaning out your garden beds. And I said, wow, you're doing good work. Hi, Tanny, Texas Garden. I think you're my neighbor over there in Plano, I think it is. I haven't heard from you in a while. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Okay, Aunt Tia said her okra is not right. It's supposed to be Clemson spineless. Oh, it's half red. No. No, you got the wrong seeds. And if it gets real hard, you didn't harvest it in time. Because it could be 3 inches long, 3 to 4 inches long. You don't have to wait for it to get real long, Aunt Tia. So true. No politics in here. That's right, Hands in the Dirt. I don't play that. Some people do anything to get some, what do you call it, likes and views. What are you going to do when the political agenda is over? What are you going to do when the pandemic is over? What are you going to do? Fear is a liar. Amen, Andale. Okay. They are making so anxious that sometimes you want to cry. Yep. Okay, I'm just going and making sure I got everything. Taylor made a good comment about the processed food being garbage. Okay, I don't see any questions. Now I'm going back all. Does okra eat? Oh, I did that. Easily pollinate. Do you use the leaves of the ginger plant? No, ma'am. No, just the rhizome. Just the root. No. I don't know if you can make ginger tea out of the leaves. I would think that you could. I've never looked it up, never researched it, never tried it. I always use the root. But that would be something good for somebody to look up and see if we can do that. And so that was Gardner 99 also co-signing that the chicory can be used as comfrey to help reduce your caffeine intake. Okay, very good. So everybody's thinking about the chicory. Okay. I got it down. I'm going to do some research. And I'm going to come back and let you all know what I think. But I'm not going to guarantee I'm not going to guarantee I'm going to grow it. Okay. Do we have any questions? If we don't, you all type in something that you're going to grow this fall or winter and put your gardens on. And while you all are doing that, I'm going to go get some of my plants. Okay. The ginger leaves are able to be used in culinary. Thank you, Miss Debbie Epps. Angela's Garden says, appears I have mildew. Come on my young apple tree leaves. What can I do? You can spray it with baking soda and water. You can spray it with a small amount of sweet milk, regular milk, and water. And you want to test one leaf first, and you don't want to do it while it's real hot. Okay? Test one leaf to see if it's going to burn. I personally would use Serenade. Now, some people say that it is, somebody contacted the group. Somebody in my group contacted the company and said they weren't going to make it anymore. But, I don't know. So those three things, milk and water, baking soda and water, or Serenade. Okay, while you all doing that, I'm going to go and get some plants, okay? I'm using my foyer this year with the seed starting stand. And the first thing I want to show you is my cow peas. Some people call them field peas. And the reason why I put them in this large pot, because after just 2 days, they had such a vigorous root system. And I know that I'm not going to be able to put them out until about September. So I put them in a larger pot. Okay? Field peas. And they're ready to be transplanted. You can transplant after you get the second set of true leaves, which are these right here. But I've got the second. Here's another set here, here, and here. But they got to be in here for a long time because it's too hot right now. And I'm not showing you everything that I have. I'll do a video on it. I'm just showing you some of the things that I'm starting inside. Because remember, we just got a reduction in the temperature Saturday when we got rain. Right here are turnips. These will be thinned out. And when I thin them out, I'm just going to cut them off. I'm not going to pull the roots out. But I wanted it to have a long growing time before I put them in the ground in September. Here is Curly Scotch Blue Kale. And I decided to use just the 1 cup so that I can see how the roots are growing. In the winter, I'll go back to the clear cup inside of the red solo cup. And this is a Vulcan kale. So I've got about 4 different types of kale. I've got collards. I have mustard spinach. I have Japanese red mustards, which are purple. I have the regular mustard. Georgia collards, I don't know if I said that already. Just a lot of stuff. Detroit beets, golden beets, cabbage, broccoli. I think it's a Chinese broccoli I'm trying this year. Asian cabbage. And I still have seeds I gotta start. I just don't have enough room right now. Because I still have them in those little peach pellets that I am transferring them into cups like this. And some more cups about this tall. Okay, so let's go back and let's see what everybody said. Ty Lily says she had a question about her pear tree. I went back, I didn't get it, baby. Put it down to the bottom and I'll answer your question. Let's go back to the ginger leaves. Dandelion tea is supposed to be wonderful and very beneficial for your health. And a lot of people make dandelion wine and dandelion jelly. But dandelion used to be considered a medicine. And then as this country evolved and poisoned our minds and made us think that dandelion was bad for us, and then they made all these different manufacturing objects where you could pop out the weeds, and because I got caught up into it to see who could have the prettiest lawn on the block. One day my husband called me from work and he said, hey, Barbara, I'm gonna say her name, she's moved. Barbara called the police on me. I said, what? I said, my lawn is too pretty. Because he would manicure that lawn. I mean, my husband had a beautiful lawn. I have lawn service come in now. I just can't do it with all the other stuff that I do. But weed killers, Roundup, all this stuff, you know, poisoned our minds to make us think that weeds, certain things were weeds when they really weren't. Okay? Okay, I have a bin of soil that has been collecting water. It smells bad. Can it still be used? Yes, you can, ma'am. You probably just need to have some drainage holes in it. Okay, Ladybug. Palmer is growing collard greens, cabbage, ginger leaves can be used. Thank you, Tiny Texas Garden. Broccoli and collards, kale, beets, butternut squash, collards and different mustard greens, pak choy. That's another thing I've got growing. I've got Swiss chard. I have rainbow Swiss chard, rainbow pak choy. For the first time I'm growing that. Somebody blessed me with some seeds. Lettuce, cabbage, greens, yes. Purple kohlrabi. I grew kohlrabi a couple of times. And to me, kohlrabi tastes like an apple and cabbage. And nothing against it, but I don't have a lot of land because I got a lot of fruit trees. I can grow a cabbage where I grow one kohlrabi. So that's the only reason why I stopped growing kohlrabi. But it's very pretty and unusual. It looked like an alien. Lettuce and radish, brassicas, collards and kale, mustard greens, red bok choy, collard greens. Ty Lily, I'm going to get your question. Anything green. Stinky puddle ranch. That's what I'm doing. Anything green. And beets that are red. Romanesco broccoli. I'm doing that one too. No. That's the one that looked like a crater. And I'm not doing that one. I'm doing the Chinese broccoli. Okay. Okay, Joyce L. Moore is trying to grow mushrooms as an additional crop. Ession's family gardener, Zapper Gardner, he grew mushrooms. Okay, Sandra Montavo, next time have your question in all caps. You want to know the best time. You want to bring them in a couple of weeks before you expected your first freeze. I cut up the pepper plants down to 12 inches high, and I withhold water, and I only water them once a month. No fertilizer. I have a purple pepper plant that's giving me beautiful peppers. Yeah, they will even produce better the second year and third year. Angela loves gardens that a cat likes to chew the ginger leaves. I have field peas too, haven't planted them yet. You still got time. It depends on what zone you in. I just want to get mine started in the house, so by the time it start getting cold, they will be stronger. And I can't put them outside right now because they'll burn up. Okay. So love notes, I assume you're talking about the ginger, because I know that's good for arthritis, fever, aches, and pain. So you must be talking about the leaves. Yes, Miss B. Washington. Dandelions are actually used as medicines. I have some Italian dandelion growing out in my one of my raised beds, and I bought it from Dan's Permaculture Food Florist. He has a seed store on Etsy, and I was watching one of his videos, and he had like little red veins in the dandelion leaves, and I thought, oh, that was real cool. So I bought some, and I'm growing that. Tommy's Homestead Garden. We don't put channels up. Like that. I'm sorry. Okay. Cassie Scott, have you ever grown stevia? Wants to know if I grown stevia, guys. What was my last video about, everybody? Stevia and how I extracted it. So Cassie, yes. Yes, Grandma grows Italian dandelions. Sandra said her ginger didn't grow. She only has 2 leaves on it. It's too short. Did you start it too early? It's a tropical plant. Ginger and turmeric are cousins. That it thrives in 75 degrees or more. Siobhan, I would put the dandelion in a pot and deadhead it as soon as you start getting those little flowers, because they will grow everywhere. Okay, spring, summer. How to tell when pears are ready in zone 5? I'm in Northwest Indiana. What you talking about? That's where I grew up. Gary, Indiana is where I grew up. I left there 40 years ago. My family still lives there. You know your pears are ripe according to the type of pear you have, and Google that information and find out when it's ripe in your area. For example, I have 4 pear trees, right? Only one of them is producing fruit. I harvested them a little bit too late. And you want to know how I knew? The squirrels started eating them. So I went back to Stark Brothers website, and I put in Kiefer pear and when were they ready to harvest, and it said between, I think it said July to October, but you harvest them when the pears are green with a slight tinge of yellow. Well, mine has started getting a little red, so I let them go too long. But it's okay. We lost 4 of them, and I was able to go ahead and preserve them. They are not a eating pear. They are a preserving pear because they're very hard. And I was waiting for them to get soft, and they won't ever get soft unless they're ripe. Okay, Ty Lily said, limb broke on my young pear tree due to weight of the fruit. Oh, the fruit is small and hard. How do I fix it next year so that they grow bigger? Okay, this is what I did. And also what to do to stop my rainwater from smelling. Okay, this is what I did for the pears. No more than 3 on the limb until your tree gets stronger. I did a video on it. I just cut the pears off. You trim. And then when you want to, in the fall and the winter of the year, you want to trim your pear tree so that you have open canopy and no branches crossing over. And there's a little book on Amazon called How to Grow a Little Fruit Tree. Okay? How to Grow a Little Fruit Tree. I can't think of the person's name, but if you put that title in on Amazon, it'll show you how you can trim the top of your tree and the sides and the cross branches and don't have too many pieces of fruit on one limb. So going forward, that's what you can do. Right now, for us, it's being broken, you're going to have to just trim that off. Okay? And as far as your rain barrel smelling, use your water. Now, you can put in mosquito bits that stops them from breeding, but I don't think it'll stop it from smelling stag water. Use it. Use your water. If you don't leave it a long time, it's not going to smell. You also can put a drop of peppermint. You can put a drop of bleach. Because I was so used to the rain water that when my brothers came to do some remodeling in my house, and that's another whole long story. They just did that for their widowed sister. And they put porcelain tile through my living room, dining room, kitchen, and foyer, and they painted. They just gave me a little spruce up, okay? And when they would go outside and cut the tile from the porcelain tile, my brother said, "Can I tell you something?" I said, "What?" He said, "We're not used to rainwater and it smells." So I came in the house and I Googled it, and they said put it like a teaspoon of bleach. And that's what I did, and it took the smell out. So I would say use it so it doesn't get stagnant, because when you have a lot of rainwater, you're going to get mosquitoes, so use the mosquito bits, and also put just a little bleach or peppermint oil, something like that, okay? It won't hurt your plants. Okay, stinky metal. Okay, y'all just talking. Okay, to each other, no problem. Carolina garden, I have 3 apple and 3 pear trees. They are 3 years old. When will they bear fruit? They are semi-dwarf. I am in North Carolina. Okay, I say, we had this debate. I call them the kings. And this was Eco Neighbor, Broke Farmer. Is it 73? And who else was on there? Canadian Outdoor Garden, and Turf Derby came in for a short period of time. And then as I was leaving, Farmer Q, Lioncrest came in. I call them the kings. And they had a little debate going. Some people said 6 years. Some people said 5 years. I say 4. So if your trees are only 3 years old since you've had them, I would say be patient, my dear. And it's going to happen. You're not going to get any wine before time. You're not going to get any fruit before time. Just do what you're supposed to do. Mulch it. Get it away from the bark. Feed it. I only use Comfrey fertilizer. I used to use other things. I don't do that anymore. They're just doing beautiful with my Comfrey. Okay? I'm not buying any more fertilizer unless I do a soil test and there's a deficiency. Okay, so the next question, I hope I answered your question, dear. The next question is, I would love to purchase a jujube tree. Any suggestions on which one to buy? Zone 6, upstate New York. You're going to have to check with your local extensions office or go to farmersalmanac.com and put in your growing zone or your state, and then, you know, put in the search bar what you're trying to grow. Because I don't know about your zone, but I can tell you this. The lead jujube is what I got. I got it off the Facebook group. It was only $5. The tree, he said, was 2 years old. It's 20 feet high. It will be in my video I'll probably drop tomorrow morning or Wednesday. My son is 6'4", and he got up on a 5-foot ladder, and he couldn't even get the top of it off. And I made that butter today out of those jujubes. Some people say potatoes, pecans, tomatoes. I think I said that in the video. You'll hear it. And so we got them off. And so this year was the first year I got plums. First year I got pears. First year I got jujubes. And a lot of nectarines, put it like that. Okay, let me go back. So yes, get back to the jujube. I got that jujube off of the Facebook group. I went to his farm, or whatever you want to call it, out in the rural. Took a friend with me, and I bought a lot of trees from him for $5. And I said, well, I heard that a jujube needs to have a pollinator. And he said, no, these are wild trees. They're not native to Texas, but they grow wild in Texas. And I'm selling them for somebody else that have a lot of farmland. And they grow, and they only have this one type. I said, So I bought it, and I said, if it flowers and it doesn't cross-pollinate, I'll get another one. Well, I'm going to show you how big those jujubes are in the video in a few days. They flowered. The wasp and the bees came and pollinated them. Unless somebody around here has a jujube that I don't know about, it did wonderful. So I heard, though, that honey jar is a very good jujube, and the Lee and the Lang are one of the older types of jujube, but they are resistant to disease. Because I didn't have any problem with any type of disease on that tree, and it has a lot of thorns on it. So that certain animals will have a difficult time getting the fruit. Okay, let me go back up. I'm always learning mosquito bits. I have to Google that. Yes, they sell it at Amazon, and sometimes you can catch it at Home Depot or Lowe's. And somebody just said Menards. I'm going to say Menu, but I know Menards because they have that back home in Indiana, but they don't have one down here in Texas. That I always go to Menards when I go, or try to go to Menards when I go home to Indiana. Does Comfrey taproot mean you can't grow it in containers? Yes, you can grow it in a container, Tia, but I would recommend that you grow it in a deep container. Like what you grow trees in, a deep container. A 5-gallon bucket would work if you start at the top. Okay? You can grow it in a container. I started off my Comfrey in containers. Love Notes looked up or already knew that jujube is hardy to zone 5. So that young lady, whoever it was that was thinking about the zone 6 jujube, Love Notes answered it for us. Thank you, Love Notes. I really appreciate you. You are very, very knowledgeable. And I noticed that when you're in the other groups, and I believe in giving flowers while you can smell them, you always are in those groups to help people. And I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And somebody just said, Sandra said that Tractor Supply carries mosquito bits too. And she's also thanking Love Notes. Oh, what you say? Grandma Grows Googled, and she said Italian dandelions are also loose leaf chicory. So I'm already growing chicory. And I can make coffee out of that? What you say? What you say? I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you. So I'm already growing chicory. I'm gonna look it all up. You know me. You know me. I got. I love it. Delin, Italian, is chicory. What you say? I can't wait till it go to seed now. And Andale is saying, yes, we love notes. Yeah. I've never seen her in a chat sit there and be dormant. And anytime she thinks she can help us out, she's in there. I love it. Hey, Peanut Peppers, how you doing? Wow. Gardner 99. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm sitting there, I'm growing chicory, didn't even know it, guys. That's why I love these chats. I don't try to come on here and act like I know it all. I pass the knowledge that I do have, but I try to learn something too from you all. Chicory, then they put it in Arabic coffee to take the bitterness out of the bean. Wow. Wow, seemed like I saw a movie. Was it The Bucket List? With Morgan Freeman and Jack Nicholson? I don't know if that was chicory or not, but it was some type of machine that they were doing something with Arabia coffee or something. But anyway, good to see you, Peanut. Okay. Are there any questions? Any questions? Wow. This is going to be fun. How old are your plum trees? Carolina Gardner wants to know. I bought 3 Methley plums 4 years ago from Stark Brothers and 1 Santa Rosa plum. But let me tell you about the Santa Rosa plum. The Santa Rosa plum was about 12 inches, a little twig, like a little switch. That thing just exploded. It's been 4 years that I got that one. But I got it on sale during the summer for $9.99 at Stark Brothers. I didn't think it was going to live. I stuck it in the ground anyway. And usually I put trees in containers, fruit trees, for a couple of years. I just said, okay, $9.99, I'll just stick it in the ground. That tree's growing like crazy. No fruit. I expect that fruit to come next year. But all 3 of the Methley plums fruited, but only 1 held on to the fruit. The one that's behind the greenhouse. The other 2 that are in front of my big shed, they got plums on them, but we had a lot of rain and the winds were high in Texas. And it blew all the fruit off. So I'm so used to fruit not holding on that it doesn't even bother me. I used to be upset when the fruit dropped. But it don't bother me anymore because I know it's not going to hold on until it's ready, you know? So I think next year I will get some fruit off of all of them. And the plums were delicious. And they were the first thing to get right were the Methley plums in Dallas County. So almost every month I get some fruit. Now only thing I got left is muscadines. They didn't come back as vigorously because the roots were damaged because of that 3-degree temperature that's unheard of in Texas. And persimmons. I have Fuyu persimmons, a few, not a lot. And I have a Yates persimmon. It was also a little stick. It has 1 piece of fruit. So that and it's holding on to it. That lets me know next year is going to be plentiful. And I do have Miho Satsuma. I thought it died. It only has about 6 or 7 pieces of fruit. I really don't count them no more, but I know it's about like that much. But last year we got at least a dozen when we actually harvested. But this year, because it went down to 19 degrees in the greenhouse, and it's not supposed to survive a temperature, I believe, below either 27 or 24. but it went below that, but it made it. Thank God it made it. Yes, Auntie, the gardening community is one of the most supportive communities on the tube. And Grandma Grows is letting us know that that chicory is decaffeinated, of course. And Caroline Gardner said, how do you fertilize them? Minor lemon has not fruited, either 2 years old. It'll get some fruit in about 3 or 4 years. It's a general rule. And I fertilized them with liquid comfrey, and I'll be doing that video by Thursday or Friday. Because it's been fermenting 2 weeks before I went on vacation. So around the 1st of July is when I did that comfrey in the rain barrel, garbage can. And now it is the 16th. So it's been fermenting for six weeks. It's ready for me to dilute. I'll be doing it in a video. In the meantime, if somebody will put my playlist up for fertilizer, if you want to watch the comfrey, how I make it, how I dilute it, before I do it again, because this video is going to be repetitious, but I'm going to try to go in more detail how I dilute it. But the main thing, Carolina Gardner, is just to be patient. You got to be patient with these fruit trees. Eco Neighbor, I really totally agree with him. The debate between 6 and 5 and 4 years or whatever. 6 years, you shouldn't worry about your fruit if it doesn't fruit until after that 6th year. Oh, okay, for New Orleans native, coffee and chicory. Somebody said that they plums fruited for the 4-year-olds from a branch of a plum tree. Sounds good. Myra McCain asked if 6-week-old comfrey is ready for tea or chop and drop. 6-week-old comfrey, Myra. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time. 6-week-old. How big are your leaves? Is it over a foot? I probably wouldn't cut 6-week comfrey down. I probably would wait until it's 2 or 3 months old, Myra. I'm not saying it can't be done, but I wouldn't stunt the growth on that. That's 6 weeks. That's a short amount of time. And if you asked me previously, I didn't see it, so I apologize. Hey, thank you, Susie. Thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, Love Note says her Awarian Satsuma has a few fruit on it. Now, Love Notes, Awarian Satsuma is more cold hardy than the Miho. So when my YouTube subscribers saw the devastation that I went through in February, they gave me a lot of super chats, and I saved that money until about, I think it was about April, and I went back and I bought a Awarian Satsuma like you had, that you have. I bought a Plumero grapefruit. They call it a grapefruit, but it's a Plumero, I think. It's in the grapefruit family. I bought a Meyer lemon. Two blueberry plants. And I might have bought something else. I can't think at this time. But I want to thank you all, because you all gave me those donations, and that's what I did. When I felt safe enough to go into the store, I went to Lowe's, and I replaced some of my citrus trees. Okay. Yes, I love Notes. Gardener 99 does know the stuff. Very good. Angela, hey, Angela, you got flowers on your Texas Star Hibiscus. Beautiful. You will get 2 cuttings of comfrey. Thank you, Caroline Gardner. This just comes from just doing this stuff for a long time. Okay, Andale put my playlist up for the fertilizer. Yes, Kim, stage 52. You can bring your pepper plant in. You must have came in a little bit late. You can bring it in If you have a greenhouse, you can leave it in the greenhouse. I lost mine because it got down to 19 degrees. Pepper plants cannot take below 32. That's freezing. So if you could bring them inside, if you have a heated garage, a sunroom, or a plant room, bring it in, cut it to 12 inches, cut it down. Don't give it any more fertilizer. Give it a little water, about a cup every month. And then you can put them back out in the spring. Myra said about the size of a hand. No, Myra. I would wait a little bit longer, dear. I would hate for you. It'll come back, but I don't think you can get that much benefit out of those little bit of leaves. Thank you, AJ, for reminding you guys to hit the like button. My kefir is 4 years old, I think. I just put it in the ground last year. It is over 6 feet. It's going to grow like crazy now, Ty Lily. It's going to grow crazy. Yeah, pomelo grapefruit. Yeah, I got that one at Lowe's. Yes, Love knows. Eco Neighbor has some grapefruits that are huge. Pomelo grapefruits. I mean, they're like this, maybe even bigger. He showed one, I want to say Saturday or Friday, where the branch was all the way over there, and it was leaning all the way almost to the ground from the weight. So it just lets you know that that grapefruit tree, just like lemon trees and Mihos and Awari and Satsuma, they can hold on to the fruit. They're strong branches. Sulie Polidor, I don't think she has a channel. Thank you, Susie. They're trying to find out if you have a channel, because all super chats, we put the channel up. But I don't think she has one, guys. Okay, this is a good one. What do I do for my dying strawberry plants? Eartha, if you've had those strawberry plants over 4 years, let them go. If you hadn't been able to multiply them by, letting the little young shoots, either you put them in the ground or in the container with a paper clip, or you put them in a separate cup and let them continue to grow roots, and then cut the cord from the mother plant after they have gotten strong roots. Because the average lifespan of a strawberry plant is between 3 and 4 years. So I got a lot of them that are dying and are not putting off any offsprings. So I will be starting new Chandler strawberry seeds this winter. And it's going to take me a couple years for them to get real big again. Because the first couple years they're small, then they get real big. So if your strawberry plants are old, get you some more. If they're young, there are too many factors involved. I don't know if you were in 100-degree weather like me. Did you shade them? I put shade cloths on mine. You might want to send me a picture and give me your garden zone, your temperature. I can look that up. And in my spare time, I can tell you what to do. But off the top of my head, if they're dying and they're not showing any signs of life, the plants have expired. Yes, that pomelo tree was beautiful. Okay, Susie doesn't have y'all know I'm trying to say channel. I found some bare root strawberry plants that I must have misplaced this spring. Should I still plant them? Mad at myself. Are they alive? Where did you find them? Nothing fails but a try. I would plant them. You don't have to plant them in the house or greenhouse. Don't put them out there in the heat. And Gardener 99 said, once your strawberry plants has crowns rot or root rot, it dies back, it should be discarded. Yeah, I just put them up. I put them in the compost. I wish Lowe's sell all those wonderful fruit trees like grapefruits and lemons. I'll look into it at the nursery. But let me share this with you, Sandra. I was watching a YouTube channel today, and they had sunflower starts, and I've seen some where they have peanuts and celery starts, or corn starts. Everywhere you live is different stuff. We don't have anything like that in Texas. So thank goodness we can get some fruit trees. But a lot of the starts that a lot of you all get, we can't get. So if it's not one thing, it's something else. I would definitely watch the past videos. I have an Awori and Satsuma. Should I take it in the moderate limit inside? Yes, definitely. They are in an unheated greenhouse. Yes. Last, I guess you're saying year, you had leaf drop. Yeah, bring it in. And if you can, put it in a sunny southern window or a grow light. Mary Spencer says, Sister Cheryl, I bought your Comfrey on Etsy. You didn't buy my Comfrey. I don't sell anything. Somebody else emailed and told me they bought my Comfrey on Etsy. So somebody named Cheryl is on Etsy selling something. I don't sell any plants. I give it away. And there's nothing wrong with selling plants. All I ask is for postage. Because I know what I put out, I'm going to get back in another way. Somebody going to order my products. This is what I look at it. If I keep giving you all free stuff, one of y'all going to buy my cream. Or my oil, or my hair growth promoter. So you're the second person that told me they bought my Comfrey on Etsy. I don't sell it. That's another Cheryl. Nothing makes a failure but a try. My mama always said the same thing. Angela loves garden. Yes, ma'am. A lot of my citrus trees came from nurseries. My strawberry plants from seed just started to grow, been in the dirt for 4 months. Wonderful. They're slow to grow, but if you can grow them from seed, you got the best plants because they learn to adapt to your environment. If you buy from a nursery or big box stores, sometimes they ship stuff in and you don't know where they came from. But I find the most success. Go back and look at my videos. Anything looks strawberries on, you'll see it. They're huge. They're huge. Okay, Awori and Satsuma stayed outside. Very good. And zone 8A, I guess it wasn't too cold to damage him that much. Tia loves the pain cream. Thank you. How much is postage for the Comfrey? Angela, I'm relying on my super chats to pay for the postage. But if I find that I'm in a situation and I can't afford to pay for the shipping, I'll let you all know. It won't be over $4 or $5 because I'm gonna send it with first class with a tracking number. Okay, so I'll let you know about that when I start sending them out. It's not gonna be that much, if anything. I'm praying that I'll have enough funds to do that. Yes, Grandma grows. That's why she enjoys, I'm sorry, it's starting from seeds, because you have to rely on whatever the nursery has. And a lot of times the tags get mixed up. And I'm not going to say that's the fault of the nursery. That's the fault of some of the employees getting lazy or whatever, and they got jalapeno pepper here, and then they run out and they put habanero, just put it in there anyway. Then you don't know what you're getting until the plant get a substantial size. But sometimes you can get seeds mixed up, but it doesn't happen as often as it can be with starts that you transplant. So yeah, I love to grow by seed because I can grow a lot of varieties I wouldn't be able to had I not started growing them from seeds. Okay, is there another question? Did I get everybody's question? It's getting close to 8:30 and I don't like to be on here more than an hour and a half. I don't want to outweigh my mother said, don't wear out your welcome. Yes, love notes. Seeds get acclimated to your environment and grow stronger and better for the next season. That is so true. The same thing with fruit trees. It's a hit or miss. You don't know what's going to happen when you put that tree in a pot up, or put it in the ground. It's got to acclimate. That Kefir pear took a 3-degree temperature, but the Gala apple tree, it took it out. You see what I'm saying? So you just never know. And the Gala apple tree was supposed to take a low temperature. I lost my pomegranate tree. I lost a lot. But just like I got it before, I know I can get it again. You just got to be patient. So, Quan's gardening, when are you going to start your fall gardening? Quan, you came in a little bit late. I'm starting now. I'm starting seeds in the house. I'm growing all kind of greens, kales, cabbage, mustard spinach, long Bloomdale spinach, beets, turnips. I'm growing everything, but I'm starting them in the house, and then I'll put them outside as soon as the weather gets consistently in the upper 80s. They can handle that, because that means it's going to be 70 at night. But it's just too hot right now. I have a whole big wire rack full of plants. I always plant more than enough. Some seeds may not sprout, and be patient. Exactly. And the more you do it, the more you know which seeds are not going to sprout. For example, I have no problems germinating collards, mustards. Turnips can be a little finicky. So I put about 3, 4, 5 seeds in there. Then I cut them off and only leave like 2. I don't pull it out. I said that before. I cut them off. You kind of know the more you grow by seed, the better you will get at it, people. And you save so money. Grandma Grows, bless your heart, she said, I can listen to your pearls as long as you spin them. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. But I know I don't want to wear out my welcome, so I try to keep it around 8:30 and then I get off. Okay? So, thank you, Auntia. She said she liked the paint. I might have repeated that again. Okay. Melanated butterfly. Wow, I like that name. I have a walnut tree near a space where I want to plant something. Is it safe to plant under a tree? Oh, wow, that's a good one. The only thing I plant around trees is perennials, like Mexican petunias, comfrey, echinacea coneflowers, I think that's one you're gonna have to Google and see what can you plant around a walnut tree. Best chat yet. I had a good time tonight. Oh, thank you, Gardener 99. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you giving me some words of encouragement. There have been a couple of times, you all won't know it, because when I come in, I don't talk negative. But there have been a couple of times when I wasn't really feeling that well. And it's comments like that, Gardener 99, that makes me press forward and push through it. You know what I mean? Because you know that you're helping someone, and I always leave this chat learning something. Okay, let me do one more thing. Let me let you know my special. It's special number 2. If you go to my website, it is a total control hair oil, moisturizing hair milk, the pain cream, and hair growth promoter. You save like about $16. You get the whole set for $49.99. From now until tomorrow at midnight, you will also get the moisturizing hand sanitizer. 5 products for the price of about 3.5 of them. Okay? Lady Cheryl special number 2 on my website. You can go to any one of my videos and click on the website. Remember, that expires at midnight tomorrow night. Okay? It's something you can buy now. Put it up for Christmas for someone. Okay? All right. I think I answered all of your questions. I need to tell you, wait a minute. You can grow begonias, crocus. I know what that is. Hyacinth around the walnut tree. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Love Notes. Okay, very good. Thank you, Andell, for putting the website. Don't forget, special number 2. You get all of that plus the hand sanitizer. I appreciate your support. Orders is what's going to help me send out some of that free stuff. Keeping it real. What else? That's it. Grow your own, eat your own. You can do this. Yes, it's some work, but learn to work smarter and not harder. You know that God loves you, and I love you guys too. That's good night, everybody. Good night from Queenie's Playroom. And Dale saying good night. Thank you all very, very much. Barb Brownlee, fantastic live. Thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you all. Bye, Farmer Q. Love you. You could have took me to that nursery. I would have met you halfway there. Okay. Bye, everybody. Good night.